kid, for some reason, humbles himself, does what he uses the talent that God gave him. Can he be our future quarterback, or what are your thoughts?
I think he's got the potential to be a starting NFL quarterback. The things that worried me about Shedeur Sanders, first and foremost, he didn't have disciplined feet in the pocket. So
Mm-hmm.
you know what it means when a quarterback's in shotgun, they're already 3, 4, 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Shedeur, and it might have been because his offensive line was really bad at Colorado last year,
Right.
but he would take an additional 5 to 7 yards back in his drop from shotgun, Bob. And so now he's adding 8 to like 12 yards on every throw he makes, even if it's a short throw. That worried me.
Yeah.
About 53% of his total yardage last year came after the catch. That worried me. That's always a telltale sign of game manager, not game winner.
Right.
And then the third thing that worried me was he could read a coverage before the snap, but when the safeties rotated after the snap, he was a mess, especially if a blitz was involved. If you want to go back, I know you don't watch college football, and maybe now's a good time to do it.
Yeah.
You can watch Shedeur Sanders highlights, and all the highlights are going to make him look great. You can go on YouTube right now and search for Shedeur Sanders versus BYU. That's his last college game.
Okay.
It will make you realize why he fell in the draft. Do I think he should have fallen to round 5? Absolutely not. Okay, he was my QB3.
Right.
I liked, obviously, Cam Ward better. I like Jackson Dart better. But I do see positives in Shedeur, and I think I should say what they are. He's accurate. He's got a perfect throwing motion. You can tell that he's the son of a former NFL player, so all of his fundamentals are really good. When he did trust his offensive line, he didn't take that big, drift back in the pocket. He would make accurate throws on time, pinpoint, good stuff, good enough arm strength, good enough velocity. Can he push the ball 50 yards? He can't. There's 3 plays at the end of a game against Baylor last year. They're down 7, and the first 2 throws, they're like Hail Mary attempts. They're big giant lobs, they're helium balloons, ton of air under them. Barely, they either do get in the end zone or they're just short of the end zone. The third throw, he's on the run, and he kind of just like, I don't know if it's quite a sidearm, but he spins it a different way, and it comes off his hand, and it looks amazing. And the receiver makes the play for the ball. It's about to hit the ground. The receiver's diving, catches it, brings it. I think it was Jimmy Horn. And it's a touchdown, and Colorado goes into overtime against Baylor. And it's moments like that, along with those moments where everything's good in the pocket. There isn't a lot of pressure on him. He trusts the offensive line. Shedeur Sanders looks like a more than competent quarterback.
Okay.
But he's not a finished product. He's got a lot of work to do. The other thing, and this is one big reason why I prefer Dart to Sanders, Shedeur Sanders has basically been in the same offense since he was in high school. He's been coached by his father since before he was in high school. But in high school, Dion was his offensive coordinator. And when he went to Jackson State, Dion was his coach. And when he went to Colorado, Dion was his coach. And a lot of the concepts that they used at Colorado, at Jackson State, and in high school, it's these first read, half field type of plays that takes a lot of the decision making out from the quarterback. Now, when things got messy and things broke down, did he panic? He did not. And that's something that I think you can be a little bit encouraged by. He kept his eyes downfield. He did not try and run with the ball. That's something that Jackson Dart did. Dart was actually good at it. But Shedeur Sanders was trying to make a play with his arm. And he would scramble away from pressure, and right before the offensive line, or right before the line of scrimmage, he'd stop his feet, he'd run parallel to that line, and then he'd fire the ball.
Nice.
It's what happens after he fires the ball. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it wasn't. He was worth a day 2 pick. I'm surprised. I think we know why, and I don't think there's any reason to talk about it. And I'm hoping that the Browns and Kevin Stefanski's a pretty cool guy and should be able to work with him. Bill Musgrave has worked with his fair share of quarterbacks in his day. Bill knows Dion. It's a solid landing spot for Shedeur. I'm curious to see how he does in training camp.
I mean, I've seen their overall draft. They got an A. That's what a lot of people are giving them.
They got the A because they got quite a haul for Travis Hunter from Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Having Jacksonville's number 1 pick next year could end up being a very good thing.
Thanks for watching. Lock in your 2025 football tickets now at thefantasyfootballexpo.com. Hit subscribe and check out one of these excellent @FF Expo videos next.